how to satisfy God. Every man should take a pause in his life to find and understand God for himself. But this will require what most men are never willing to give up. And that's distractions and isolation for studying to find something that's deeply hidden in them that's been missing and will continue to be missing until they do. This is the main ingredient. It cannot happen any other way. Any other way will definitely blur your vision and will cause delays in being satisfied. Regardless of what you've heard throughout life, a great forsakening is absolutely imperative for every single man. It's nothing more than a sabbatical. You may be advised against this, especially if you haven't identified the source of your strength. But if you want your strength, you may want to do this instead. This is an alone walk, and probably the loneliest walk that any man or any person that listening to this will ever have to take. But the necessities of it would definitely be life altering if you do. You can't become satisfied with any and everybody else's prayer, especially over your life. That becomes a dependency. But you must trust and embrace your very own prayer. Not many prayers, but one prayer. More importantly, stop changing your prayer. Too often times we change it and they become scattered prayers and you end up with scattered answers. It's no different from parenting. When your children are coming to you asking you for multiple things, you often tell them to slow down and stick with one. God is no different. It's not that he can't do it, just like you're able to do it as a parent. It's just that he won't, because you're asking for too much too soon, and you haven't stopped to enjoy what you initially asked for. If your prayers never change, neither will your answers. God doesn't speak to all of us the same. He never has. He never will. We individually hear from him differently. And it will differ from time to time because they are instructions in which we are to follow. But sadly, in today's society, we have grown accustomed to not really learning to accept answers and be satisfied with them. We always want to push the envelope to get more than what we deserve. But when we have become proven to be faithful and trusted over the very little, he will definitely make us rulers over many. There's no newness to God. He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. He will not change. The problem is we are too busy trying to change him instead of changing ourselves. When you get to the point and realize that there's no new discovery, you will then begin to uncover that which has been hidden. It really hasn't been hidden from you. You neglected to go search for it. There's only one God, capital G. Few gods, lowercase g, and many strange gods, lowercase g. But which one do you know? If you know them all, which order in which do you know them? You got to learn to operate within him and not outside of him. That's satisfactory. That's the only grade you need. It's much easier to start over than it is to remain the same. But that's how you satisfy God. If you would ask, when do you satisfy God? Right now. I go a little deeper in episode 2. But how to satisfy God? Learn his ways. Be willing to walk alone. Learn what isolation really means. And find his ingredients that satisfy him. He doesn't require much. It is the greed in man that requires all.